Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the first read. Austin and I are getting ready to read Amari's Adventure for the second time. This read will be read a little differently. During this read, I'll focus on the thoughts and emotions of the characters. It's so important that children understand what the characters are thinking and feeling during the story and why they make the choices they make. This will definitely lead to a deeper understanding of the story and comprehending the story. I will also continue to teach important vocabulary as I read using the PAT strategy. Remember, I will point, act out, and tell vocabulary words as I read. Are you ready to read? Let's get started. Okay, the title of this story is Amari's Adventure. We're going to read it for a second time. It's written by the Rollins Center for Language and Literacy at the Atlanta Speech School and illustrated by Maurice Jackson Jr. Remember when we read the story the first time and Amari went to the zoo? Remember how at the end of the day, Amari was so talkative. She talked a lot. I wonder why she was so talkative. So this time, let's read and find out why Amari was so talkative at the end of the day. Amari's Adventure. Amari, called Dad from downstairs. Wake up. It's your special day with Mama and Will. But Amari was already awake. She sat in her bed and she hugged Tiger and whispered, "Today is the day." What do you think about that, Austin?
She's going on an adventure.
Yes, she's going on an adventure, an exciting time. Amari and Will followed. They went behind Mama toward the bus stop. Amari studied the reflections. Remember, a reflection is what you see in the mirror in the windows. Her brother's head bobbed tall above hers. Will and Mama walked faster than she did. So Amari skipped her feet every few steps to keep up. At the bus stop, cars whirred by. Mama squeezed Amari's hand and leaned in close. Are you ready for a big adventure? Our exciting time, she asked. The bus soon arrived, which means it got there soon. Amari chose a seat beside Mama. Will stood and gripped a silver pole for balance. Can you grip or hold on tight? Yeah, that looks like a really tight grip. The zoo was a busy place. Amari and Will bumped their heads together looking at the map. Where are the tigers? Asked Amari. We'll see them after the parakeet's house, answered Mama. Amari sighed. When you sigh, you breathe in and out slowly. Can you sigh like Amari? Wow. I think Amari is excited or really happy to be at the zoo, but I think she really wanted to see the tigers first. There was a sturdy log fence at the elephant exhibit. An exhibit is a place where you see interesting things. Will barely noticed the fence, but Amari, she had to stand tall on her tiptoes to see over it. Know what? Said Will. I read at school that an elephant can eat up to 600 pounds of food a day. Things like honeydew melon, celery, lettuce, and sweet potatoes. Just like we dig up in the community garden, laughed Amari. So they eat their fruits and vegetables just like us, and she giggled. Can you giggle like Amari? I bet she's thinking, I'm so much smaller than Will. The parakeet house was next. Amari and Will each got a little seed stick covered in birdseed. Will held his stick near a tree full of hungry parakeets, but no matter how far she stretched, Amari's arm was too short to reach the tree. Wow, I see, you're stretching just like Amari did. Finally, she reached under the fence and held out her stick to a teal parakeet on the ground. He gobbled the seeds greedily. He ate the seeds fast. Can I see you gobble? Wow, that's a nice gobble. I'm wondering if Amari is feeling frustrated, feeling upset that she keeps trying to reach the parakeet, but it doesn't work. Maybe she is getting frustrated. Amari saw the sign before Will did. The tigers! She shouted. The highlight, the best part of our adventure, our exciting time, said Mama happily. I bet Amari is thinking, oh, hooray! The tigers are my favorite. I'm so excited. I'm really happy. What do you think about those tigers?
They're cool and awesome.
Right. So you have something in common with Amari. You both like tigers
And lions.
and lions. A crowd, a large group of people standing close together, was gathered at the window of the tiger exhibit, the place where you see interesting things. Their bodies made a wall and blocked Amari's view. Wow, that was the problem when we read it the first time, that there was a crowd and Amari couldn't see. Do you remember? She couldn't see a thing. Her heart beat fast and her throat felt tight. I bet Amari is thinking, oh no, this is awful. How am I ever going to see the tigers now? But then she noticed something. She noticed there at the bottom corner of the window, there was an empty space. No one in the crowd was there. I'm small enough to fit there, she thought. So she wiggled, can you wiggle your body? Through the crowd, and she made sure to say, excuse me. Once she reached the window, she stared in awe at the group of tigers on the other side of the glass. A young tiger sat off to the side by himself. Suddenly, all at once, he looked up at Amari. Their eyes met. Amari held her breath. Can you hold your breath? Just for a little, huh? Wow, so Amari made her way to the tigers. She didn't give up. What do you think about that?
She had perseverance.
She had perseverance, right? She did not give up. A small girl had followed. She went behind Amari, through the crowd, the large group of people, to the window. Amari saw her eyes widen. They got bigger as the tiger looked toward them. A baby tiger? Wow, whispered the little girl. He's looking right at us, replied Amari. He's beautiful. Notice Amari is bigger than the little girl. She was the leader here, and I'm wondering if Amari feels proud or happy about doing something good. Later, Mama spread out their picnic blanket by the big oak tree at the park. Amari lay down on the sunny part of the blanket, closed her eyes, and smiled. Can you give me a smile like Amari has? Wow, you have a nice smile. What are you thinking about, my little problem solver? And a problem solver is someone who fixes things when they go wrong, said Mama, looking up from her sandwich. I think Mama must be so proud that Amari solved the problem. She must feel like Amari did something good. At the splash park, Amari took off her shoes and jumped in the puddles, but not Will. He laughed at her wet shorts and shook his head. Amari shivered. Can you shiver like Amari? Wow, it was getting late. Mama wrapped her up in the big purple towel and rubbed her back to keep her warm. We've had quite an adventure, an exciting time, Mama said. Back at home, Amari couldn't stop talking. Mama, that was really an adventure, she said. I was so upset because of that crowd, that large group of people. But that corner spot was empty. No one was there. And just the right size for me. And Mama, did you see? I made 2 friends today. Yes, when you found your way to the window, you also helped another little girl find her way, Mama said, and wrapped her arms around Amari's shoulder. We both fit in that tiny spot by the window, Amari remembered, and the little tiger looked right at us. I'm remembering or thinking back when Amari's mom asked her a question here earlier when they had the picnic. Remember, Amari's mom asked her the question, "What are you thinking about, my little problem solver?" Amari didn't respond to her mom. She was quiet. But at the end of the day, she was so talkative and excited because she was remembering the adventure, the exciting time. They had such an exciting time that day. Amari laid her head on Mama's soft lap. Mama's flowered skirt smelled like fresh cut grass from the park. I wish I had seen that tiger, Amari, Dad said. It sounds like it was a real adventure. Amari grinned, then glanced up at Will, brushing his teeth across the hall. He stood tall, leaning toward his reflection in the mirror. Remember, a reflection is what you see when you look in the mirror. Snuggling in close to Mama, Amari said, I'm smaller than Will, but today I felt big. So, why was Amari so excited and talkative at the end of the day?
Because she saw the tigers. It was a fun adventure.
Right, you're right. She saw the tigers, which she was really looking forward to seeing, and she had an exciting adventure.
And she went at the water splash park.
Yes, you're remembering she did go to the water splash park.
And had a picnic.
And she had a picnic. Those were all important events that you remembered in the story. Yes, and she seems like she's having a lot of fun at the water splash park. What do you think?
I think so too.
You think she's happy?
Happy.
Or what else? What else do you think? She might be
excited.
Yeah, she's probably excited. She's had a lot of excitement that day. All right, good job, Austin. Welcome back. Now that we've read the story for a second time, Austin is definitely getting more comfortable with it and is starting to understand the story more and more. I'm so excited. That's what we want. You've probably noticed during this read, Austin had more to say about the story. That's exactly what we want. We want to empower the children through their own voice. As our children become familiar with the story, they'll be able to share their own ideas and what's happening. You probably also noticed that Austin used some of the vocabulary words I've been teaching. That's really exciting because when children start to use these words on their own, we know that they really understand them. Once Austin has a good understanding of the character's thoughts and emotions, then I'll move on to the third read.